Hi Ornament Girls and Guys, and welcome to a free Ornament Girl tutorial. My name is Kennedy, and in this video I'll be showing you how to add this beautiful woven ribbon band to your no-sew quilted ornaments. Before we get started, make sure you check out the link below the video to grab your free printable supply list that we've included with this tutorial. It will list out the materials you'll need, and it'll have a few notes regarding your supplies as well. This braided ribbon band technique was not something that was designed or invented by us here at the Ornament Girl. It's actually a very traditional woven ribbon technique used in many crafts, including using ribbon to weave leis to wear around your neck. We really love how this beautiful technique looks on no-sew quilted ornaments added as a band embellishment, so we wanted to make a quick video so that you could see how to add this beautiful technique to your ornaments as well. You only need a few simple supplies to create this woven ribbon band. Your main supply will be your two ribbon colors. So I have two pieces of 3/8 inch wide ribbon here. About 4 feet of ribbon is what you'll need to create a 10-inch band that is perfect for using on our 3-inch soft foam balls or discs. But you could use longer pieces to adapt this woven ribbon band to a larger piece of foam such as a hemi or a cube. The best part is that you can leave your ribbon attached to the spool as you create your woven ribbon band so that you'll only cut your pieces as long as you need. So instead of cutting your pieces ahead of time, you can go ahead and leave those ribbon pieces attached to the ribbon spools, and then once your band is the length that you want, then you can trim your ribbon pieces. Other materials you'll need include a little touch of hot glue or a couple of glue dots. And of course, you'll also need the ornament on which you want to add the woven ribbon band. I have a Christmas ornament here made with the Ohio Star pattern available on the Ornament Girl shop. And it is a good idea to finish off your ornament with a fabric band. It's not totally necessary. In most cases, the ribbon band would cover the pins at the center of the ornament. But adding that fabric band does make sure that anything showing under your ribbon band will be nice and finished and covered. Once you have all of those materials gathered, we can start creating your band. For my woven ribbon band, I have 2 pieces of satin ribbon here. For your first couple of tries, you may find it easier to use something a little stiffer, such as grosgrain ribbon. It might just give you a little bit more control, but once you've practiced a time or two, you can play with lots of different ribbon textures. I'm going to take just one piece of my ribbon here, and we're going to create a loop at the top end. So I'm just looping that ribbon over, and you want to make sure that once that loop is shut, you will still be able to fit the other ribbon piece through that loop. So you want it at least 3/8 of an inch wide, and then you'll want to leave a little extra to be able to glue it shut. So I'm just checking the width on my loop there. And now I am going to add a little dot of glue so that I can glue that loop shut. And you could use hot glue or glue dots here, whatever you have handy. And now we need to repeat the same thing for the second piece of ribbon. So we're going to create that same loop at the top, making sure it would be wide enough to fit our ribbon piece through. My ribbons are sliding all over the place over here. So I'm just going to fold that loop over. Check and make sure that you could slide the other ribbon loop through it, even once it's glued shut. Just like that. Now we're just going to glue that little loop just like we did with the previous one. And if you're using hot glue, of course, be very careful not to accidentally burn yourself. Once you have your 2 loops created, you are going to put one loop inside the other, and it doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm taking this right hand loop and sliding it up into the loop on the other piece. And I have both ribbons flipped over so that the little glued edge is at the back, but that doesn't particularly matter because these ends will be covered at the top of your ornament anyway. Now I have my ribbon coming up from the bottom right to the top left, running through the loop of the other ribbon. Now we're basically just going to keep tucking loops inside each other to create the entire braid. Now I'm working with this bottom left piece of ribbon. I'm going to pick it up from the back. So I'm picking my ribbon up and then pushing it upward so that I can create a loop here where the ribbon is coming down on the front. We're not looping it backward. We're pushing up from the back, pushing that upward and pinching the ribbon together so that the ribbon comes down and creates sort of just a hill that we're pinching together to create that loop. So one more time, lifting it from the back, pushing up and pinching it together to create a loop. Now you just want to push this loop through the loop that's directly above it. So I'm not twisting it or anything. I still have the front of the ribbon closest to me. I'm pushing it right up through that loop, and then I'm just going to tug on everything to tighten it up a little bit. And holding on to it right here at the beginning is definitely the hardest, but the beginning of your band will probably be covered up by bows on top of your ornament anyway, so if it's not perfectly tight, you don't need to worry about it too much. Now we're just going to do the same thing, but this time on the bottom right. So we have a loop up here on the top right. We're coming down to the bottom right ribbon, pushing it up from the back and pinching together to create a loop with the ribbon piece on the front, and then pushing that ribbon loop right up into the loop that's directly above it. And you can pull on everything, pushing it up and then pulling that front ribbon down to tighten it up just a bit. And now you can see this is just what we're going to continue to do back and forth. Now I have a loop on the top left, so I'm coming to the bottom left ribbon, picking it up from the back and pushing it upward to create a loop, and then pushing that loop right through the loop that's directly above it. And you don't need to tug super hard because you don't want to start bunching all your ribbon up. You just want the pieces to lay flat inside the loops that you're creating. Now I'll continue by coming down to the bottom right, pushing the ribbon upward from the back and pinching together to create a loop, sliding that loop into the loop that's directly above it, making sure not to twist my ribbon around, and then I'm just going to tighten this one up so that it's just wide enough to hold the ribbon inside of it. And you can move your fingers up as you work, so I'm not holding down here at the bottom anymore. I'm moving with the band as I go. Picking up the left ribbon from the back, pushing it through the top loop, tightening up that loop so it's just wide enough to hold the piece of ribbon inside. And now you're just going to continue on with this exact same method, alternating sides and tightening up those loops to hold the ribbon piece underneath until the band is the length that you want to use on your ornament. So I have a round ball ornament I'm adding this to, so I'm going to continue this technique back and forth until I have a band that's about 10.5 inches long. And if you messed up anywhere, like right here, I have sort of a loose spot, I'm not too concerned about it. But if you wanted to go backward, all you have to do is just start to pull your loops out and you can work your way back to fix any mistakes. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this until I have a band that's about 10.5 inches long. I will come back to show you how to finish it off and then how to add it to your ornament. Once your band is to the length that you'd like, we're going to add a little bit of glue to secure the ends, and then we can cut off the excess ribbon. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue inside these last few loops. So I'm gonna put the glue inside this loop so that the two ribbon pieces are stuck together here. So I'm just going to add a little bit inside there, adding the glue between two ribbon colors. And again, the ends of your band will most likely be covered by a ribbon bow on top of your ornament if your plan is to add some fluffy bows on top. So these sections won't even be showing, so they don't have to look super tidy. Now where this bottom right piece of ribbon is coming out, I'm gonna add a little bit of glue under that loop to secure that ribbon end as well. And once all those ribbons are secured together, you can just trim off the ribbon ends. And again, this doesn't have to look beautiful at the end because we're going to be covering it up at the top of your ornament anyway. And now you have created your band, and all that's left to do is add it to the ornament. In each of our ornament making tutorials, we have instructions for adding the fabric band. So if you haven't made an ornament before, you can follow along with the instructions and it'll take you all the way up to this step. So you're going to find the starting and stopping point of your fabric band. And I just like to pin this right into my ornament, just like we do with our fabric bands. So I'm just going to add a pin or two to the ends and then wrap that around your ornament, keeping it centered. And if you tug on it, your ribbons start to weave together a little tighter, or you can leave it nice and loose so that it's as wide as it originally was. And then when you return to the top center, go ahead and use 2 pins again to hold it in place. And now, just like you would with any other ornament, you can go ahead and finish off the top of your ornament with some fluffy ribbon bows and a hanger. We do have tutorials for each of those steps on the Ornament Girl website as well. I have gone ahead and finished embellishing my Ohio Star ornament here so that you can really see the beautiful effect that this braided ribbon band has on your ornaments. If you find that your band is slipping around a little, you could also add pins threaded with embellishments along the band to help hold it in place as well. Thank you so much for watching this quick little Ornament Girl tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed following along with us, and I can't wait to see all of the beautiful ornaments you make with this beautiful braided ribbon technique. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube for more ornament making tutorials like this one. Thanks for watching.